What's going on, everybody? Just want to get on here and share some tips, for vocalists, singers, rappers, any of those types of, people out in the music world. Basically, kind of what producers are looking for and working with an artist, some things to work on so you can, hook that up a little easier, work with more people, and kind of pursue your musical aspirations. Probably the first, tip, for vocalists in general, and this is something you can practice, is singing on time. It's not one of those things that get talked about quite a bit, but it's really helpful if you can sing on beat, especially if you're like in hip hop, you're a rapper, being able to, sing on time, rap on time, spit bars on time. It's like if you're working with an artist that is real sketchy when it comes to their timing. Timing is a big, part of music creation, and it really, kind of makes a mood and an atmosphere and a sound and a vibe. It's really important, and that's something you can just practice with like a metronome, or you can get a kick drum on like a 4 to the floor beat and just practice that kind of skill. The other thing kind of to think about when it comes to vocals in general is that the pitch, pitchiness is not as big of a deal as the tone of your voice. It's really easy, when you're producing, tracks to pitch correct vocals. It's not so much, a tone thing. Tone is, it's one of those things you can practice and develop your tone. Some people, think it's not possible, but everything's possible. As you develop your own style of singing or rapping or, any type of vocal type of thing, working on that tone and really letting go of a lot of fear when you're recording, to just let the real you out, just to express your natural tone. That's an important piece to the puzzle. And another thing to keep in mind too is a lot of times you can work with different producers and stuff that you're not really close to, location wise. The internet makes it awesome to connect with people all over, and to do that, really investing in some solid gear. A good microphone is important. A lot of people have like a misconception that producer will fly you out to their studio or something, and that may or may not be the case. It just kind of depends. But if you're just kind of just doing a collab or something like that, having good gear to record just yourself, and be able to basically hook it up on SoundCloud or something, or somewhere to grab the acapella, the stems, and with that, if you're working with a producer, they might tell you what they're looking for if they're not going to be in the same room even. It's like do multiple takes, multiple types of vocals, do it like a main, like a lead vocal, but then you can do some whisper tracks or just do a couple cuts, of the same thing, and little background vocals don't hurt. It just gives more options. That's something a producer can kind of instruct you on. But if you're just wanting to collab and kind of, especially if you're just getting your feet into the game, it's a good way to start doing that. Having your vocals, your bars or whatever you're doing, available. Because the thing about music is everybody's kind of searching. The producer's always looking for new sounds and new people, new artists. And with that, one of the most important tips, for anybody that's in a singer, or vocalist, or rapper, or any of that type of stuff, be you. Don't bite on somebody else's style. Just be yourself, and being yourself is the best thing you could possibly do for your career, your musical aspirations, because there's only one of you. And the way that you're going to get into the game, could be different than maybe somebody you look up to, but it's the same destination. Just be yourself, and don't have fear, ultimately, because that comes off too in recordings. One of the things I kind of look for is like an energy with the vocal, the soul of it. If it's got a good energy and it's got a good tone, the timing's right, it's like a no-brainer. It's like, oh, I want to work with that. That sounds cool. I can make something fire with that. And a lot of different producers, kind of vibe in the same direction. And if you have good equipment and you can kind of work with people, that's another good thing to do. Maybe a habit not to do is adding a lot of effects to your vocals, because it makes it difficult to kind of mix them. When you're producing and you got a vocal that's got a bunch of effects on it, trying to get it to sit right in a mix can be a little bit more challenging. But if you give more of like the dry samples, maybe do a little compression if you feel the need to, but kind of leave that to the producer to toy around with those different types of processing. It's just a tip. Do what you want to do. But and last but not least, it's just have your stuff available. It's like, be active. Because in the music game, things just start to flow together as you start to kind of vibe where other people are vibing. You kind of meet. It's like people hit your radar and things hit your radar when you're kind of on the same frequency, basically. So get out there and start being active, putting out new material. And network and show some love and kind of give what you want to receive. And things start to flow together. A lot of times, different producers, it's pretty easy to get in touch with them. Most of them have like a Twitter. I have a Twitter. And a lot of times they'll drop some links when they're looking for some new artists. And if you have something hot ready to go, it doesn't take very long to produce a track. And so being I guess punctual maybe is a way to say it. But if someone's wanting to collab and do some work, get the shit done. Make some fire and then go from there. It'd be easy to work with. Is another tip. And other than that, that's just my perspective on it. I'm sure everybody's got a different flow, but those are some tips that hopefully are helpful and for you and hooking up with different producers and getting more and more exposed to whatever type of music you want to be making. And I'm kind of rambling, but other than that, I appreciate you guys liking, sharing, subscribing, ringing the bell, all that kind of stuff, sharing the video around with your friends, and ultimately helping other people pursue their musical aspirations. Is a great time to be in music. It's an abundant time. The old model is kind of just, it's irrelevant because this new is so much better and more artist friendly. And so I wish you nothing but success in whatever you're doing. And other than that, have a good rest of your day, and God bless.